Hola chicos, señor Emilio aquí. I hope you and all your families are well. Hoy tenemos una nueva clase. ¿Qué haces en la ciudad? What do you do in town? Nuestros objetivos hoy son telling the time and using the verb ir. Bueno, chicos, copia el título, los objetivos y escribe la fecha. You may want to put the video on pause now whilst you copy the title, the objectives, and write the date. So, as you've already seen, our first objective today is telling the time. In order to do this, we need to revise numbers. So as a starter, I'd like you to translate these 8 numbers into English. And don't forget to pause the video now. Okay, las respuestas. Let's see how well you remember those numbers. 8, 8, 3, 3, 5, 5, 6, 6, 11, 11, 13, 13, 20, 20, 17, 17. So we just saw 8 numbers there, but in order to tell the time in Spanish, you need to know your numbers 1 to 31. We've already learnt these in Year 7, but what I suggest you do now is just have a little look over them and revise them, maybe jot them down or take a picture on your phone. Okay, time to start telling the time in Spanish. And the first thing we need to learn is that question there. ¿Qué hora es? What time is it? Can you repeat that after me now, please? ¿Qué hora es? We've got the same question here. ¿Qué hora es? What time is it? But now we're going to start telling the time. So to say it's 1 o'clock, like it is in this picture, we would say es la una. However, to say it's 2 o'clock, we would say son las dos. And that's because it's plural now. Therefore, 1 o'clock is the only time when we would say es la. Okay, why don't you have a go yourself now? Pause the video and see if you can work out how to say it's 3 o'clock. Y la respuesta son las 3. Well done to those of you who got that. So we know how to say it's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, but how do we say minutes past? You first say the o'clock and then y, the Spanish word for and, plus the number of minutes. So 5 minutes past 4 would be son las 4:05. Okay, why don't you have a go at this one yourself? So pause the video and when you're ready to see the answer, press play. La respuesta. Let's go through those 3 steps. So the first thing we need to say is the o'clock. So son las 6. Then we need the word for and in Spanish, y. And then we need to say the number of minutes past, 10. Son las 6:10. How would we say this? 10:15. Well, you could say son las 10:15, but we'd be more likely to say this. Son las 10:15. How would you say this one? You could say son las 11:30, but again, we're more likely to say son las 11:30. We know how to say minutes past, but how do we say minutes to? Well, again, you first say the o'clock, and then menos, which means minus in Spanish, and then the number of minutes. So 10 to 4 would be son las 4 menos 10. Okay, time for you to have a go. How would we say 25 minutes to 9? Pause the video and when you're ready to see the answer, press play. La respuesta. Let's go through those 3 steps again. So first we need to say the o'clock. So son las 9. Then we need to say the Spanish for minus, menos, and then we need to say the number of minutes, 25. So son las 9 menos 25. Bit of a trickier one for you this time, 4:45. So pause the video now and see if you can work it out. Respuesta. Let's go through those 3 steps. So first we need to say the o'clock, son las 5, and then we need to say the Spanish word for minus, menos, and then finally we need the number of minutes. But this is 1:45, so instead of saying the number of minutes, we're going to say cuarto. So son las 5 menos cuarto. Okay, so I'd like you to get some vocab down now then, please. So can you put a subtitle, ¿Qué hora es? What time is it? And get this vocab down. So es la una, it's 1 o'clock. Son las dos, it's 2 o'clock. Son las tres, it's 3 o'clock, and so on. And then can you get the minutes past? Y 5, 5 minutes past. Y 10, 10 minutes past, etc. And then finally get the minutes to, menos 25, 25 minutes to, menos 20, 20 minutes to, and so on. And then once you've got that vocab down, I'd like you to have a go at these extension translations to put that into practice. Okay, so put the video in pause now, get that vocab down, and when you're ready to see the answers to the extension, press play. Okay, las respuestas. It's 5 o'clock. Son las 5. It's 20 minutes past 8. Son las 8:20. And it's 2:45. Son las 3 menos cuarto. Vamos a escuchar. Escucha. ¿Qué hora es? Escribe la letra correcta. Listen. What time is it? Write the correct letter. So you need to write 1 to 9. You're going to hear 9 people speaking, being asked what time it is. You need to put the correct letter depending on what they've said. Get ready, the recording is about to start.
1.
¿Qué hora es? Son las 3:10.
2.
¿Qué hora es? Son las 7:05.
3.
¿Qué hora es? Es la 1:25.
4.
¿Qué hora es? Son las 4:20.
5.
¿Qué hora es? Son las 11 menos 5.
6.
¿Qué hora es? Son las 10 menos 10.
7.
¿Qué hora es?
Son las 9 menos 20. 8.
¿Qué hora es?
Son las 6 menos 25.
9. ¿Qué hora es?
Son las 3 menos 20.
Okay, las respuestas. Número 1, they said son las 3:10. 3:10, so that's letra I. Número 2, they said son las 7:05. 7, so that's letra A. Número 3, they said es la 1:25, so that's letra D. Número 4, they said son los 4:20, so that's letra B. Número 5, they said son las 11 menos 5, so letra H. Número 6, they said son las 10 menos 10, so that's letra G. Número 7, they said son las 9 menos 20, letra F. Número 8, they said son las 6 menos 25, letra C. Y número 9, son las 3 menos 20, so letra I. Practicamos. Okay, so we've already done quite a lot on time. So what I want you to do now is put everything we've learned together and practice. So for exercise 1, you're matching the numbers with the words, and then for exercise 2, you're completing the phrases. So put the video on pause, and when you're ready to see the answers, press play. Respuestas. So I'm just going to give you the answers now, so you might want to pause it so that you can mark your work. Okay, so now we move on to our second objective, using the verb ir to talk about what we do in our town. Now this is a very long lesson and is about 2 normal lessons worth of work. So if you want to pause the video and continue another day, now would be a good time to do so. I'm going to introduce the second objective using a listening activity. 9 people will be asked the question, ¿Qué haces en la ciudad? What do you do in town? You need to write 1 to 9 and write the correct letter next to the correct number. Right, get yourselves ready because the listening is about to start.
1,
¿Qué haces en la ciudad?
Voy al cine.
2. ¿Qué haces en la ciudad?
Voy de paseo con mi familia.
3.
¿Qué haces en la ciudad?
Voy a la playa.
4. ¿Qué haces en la ciudad?
Bueno, voy a la cafetería.
5.
¿Qué haces en la ciudad?
Salgo con mis amigos.
6. ¿Qué haces en la ciudad?
Voy de compras.
7.
¿Qué haces en la ciudad?
Yo voy a la bolera. Me encanta.
8. ¿Qué haces en la ciudad?
A ver, voy al parque.
9.
¿Y tú?
No hago nada.
Okay, las respuestas. Número 1 said voy al cine, so letra B. Número 2, voy de paseo con mi familia, letra G. Número 3, voy a la playa, letra F. Número 4, voy a la cafetería, letra D. Número 5, salgo con mis amigos, letra A. Número 6, voy de compras, letra H. Número 7, voy a la bolera, letra E. Número 8, voy al parque, letra C. Y número 9, no hago nada. Letra I. We introduced a lot of new vocab in that last activity, but how much of it do we know already? Well, I imagine you can work out what most of them mean, but let's just go through it now quickly. I suggest you repeat after me to practice your pronunciation. Salgo con mis amigos. I go out with my friends. Voy al cine. I go to the cinema. Voy al parque. I go to the park. Voy a la cafeteria. I go to the cafeteria. Or I go to the cafe. Voy a la bolera. I go to the bowling alley. Voy a la playa. I go to the beach. Voy de paseo con mi familia. I go for a walk with my family. Voy de compras. I go shopping. No hago nada. Okay, so get that vocab down now and then have a go at the translations on the right hand side to practice using that vocab and the vocab that we've already learned on time. Just a little pointer, to say at, you say a. So pause the video now and when you're ready to see the answers, press play. Las respuestas. At 1 o'clock I go to the park. A la una voy al parque. At quarter to 7 I go to the bowling alley. A las 7 menos cuarto voy a la bolera. At 25 minutes past 11 I do nothing. A las 11:25 no hago nada. At 20 to 12 I go to the cinema and then at 3 o'clock I go to the gym. A bit of a tricky one here, but the vocab that's not on this slide we've all seen before. So, a las 12 menos 20 voy al cine y después, after, voy al gimnasio. Vamos a leer. Leí el texto, escribe la hora y las letras de los dibujos correctos. Read the text, write the time and the letters of the correct drawings. Below is a text written by Luis about his perfect Saturday. You need to tell me which activities he does at what time. Like in the example, just write the time and the letter of the picture. Okay, so put the video in pause and when you're ready to see the answers, press play. Las respuestas. So, on this slide, I'm going to show you where to find the answers, and then on the next slide, I'm going to give you the answers. So, the first time we saw was a las 8 o'clock. And then the activities that Luis did at 8 o'clock was como una chocolatina, which is letra C, and escucho música, which is letra B. That was our example. Right, the next time we see is a las 9:15, 9:15. And the activities that Luis does at 9:15 are monto en bici, which is letra D, and voy al parque y veo un partido de fútbol, which is letra F. The next time that we see is a la 1:20, and at this time, which is 1:20, sorry, and at this time Luis says voy a la bolera, which is letra A. And then the next time we see is las 6 menos cuarto, And at las 6 menos cuarto, so at 5:40 or 20 to 6, Luis says, vamos a una cafetería. So that's letra G. And then the final time Luis says is las 8. So that's 8 in the evening. And then the activity is veo la televisión. So letra E. Okay, so I've shown you where to find the answers. So now I'm going to give them to you. You may want to pause the video now so you can check your work. Prepara una presentación. Describe tu sábado perfecto. Prepare a presentation. Describe your perfect Saturday. So using all the vocab that we've learned on time and what you do in your town, I would like you to describe your perfect Saturday. I would also suggest you use Luis's example to help you. This can either be written or spoken, and I would like it uploaded to show my homework. So either take a picture of your work or record yourself on your phone. Extensión! Now this part of the lesson is not obligatory, but if you've chosen to do Spanish GCSE, I really suggest you do it. The verb ir, to go, is an important irregular verb. We saw the conjugation voy, I go, a lot in the lesson, but we don't always want to talk about ourselves. Quite often, we want to make other people the subject of our sentences. So on the left-hand side, in the grammar box, you have the different conjugations of the verb ir. Voy, I go. Vas, you go. Va, he, she goes. Vamos, we go. Vais, you plural go, and van, they go. Using this and the vocab that we've learned in the lesson, I'd like you to have a go at these 6 translations. So put the video in pause, and when you're ready to see the answers, press play. Las respuestas. Número 1. We go to the beach. Vamos a la playa. Número 2. She goes shopping. Ella va de compras. Número 3. I go to the cinema. Voy al cine. Número 4. On Saturdays, they go to the park. Los sábados van al parque. Número 5. Sometimes you, singular, go to the swimming pool. A veces vas a la piscina. Número 6. At the weekend, you, plural, go to the bowling alley. Los fines de semana vais a la bolera. Well done to those of you who did that work. That's fantastic. Chicos, hemos terminado. Bien hecho. Un aplauso para todos. Woo! Well done, folks. That's fantastic work. Please don't forget to upload your presentations to show my homework and just leave a comment to let me know how you got on. Adios, clase.